every Monday after COVID testing for baseball, like I always do. I go into this McDonald's. I'm like, yo, I even looked it up before. It said they weren't breakfast didn't stop until 11. I pull in at 10:31. I'm like, hey, can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle with a hash brown? Like, nah, we don't have breakfast. I'm like, what do you mean? So I called them on Wednesday when I went back and I had a haircut. And it was like 10:15. I was like, hey, when do you guys stop serving breakfast? And I find out it's 10:30. I missed that shit by a minute. You mean to tell me they don't got no fucking – you mean to tell me they didn't have one goddamn fucking egg, one sausage, one hash brown, and 2 fucking buns for my goddamn McGriddle? Bullshit. Bullshit, McDonald's. You ain't put that shit away at 10:30. Bullshit. I want my damn McGriddle. So, no.
This is where – oh, sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
So then I go Wednesday and I get my McGriddle and hash brown. Fucking fantastic, by the way. I'm like, yo, I'm in the drive-thru. I'm like, fuck it. Like, hey, I was wondering when you guys were going to get High C Orange. I saw that most locations aren't going to have them until like June, so I was just trying to figure out when you think you'd have them. She's like, oh, we have it right now. I was like, yo, can I get a drink, just the cup, and come in and fill it myself? Because let me put y'all on. High C, half High C Orange, half Blue Powerade. Oh my God, shit is gas. Haven't had that shit since high school. So I go, I'm like, she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't give me a cup because she said that the drink bar inside is not for the public. You can't use it. They're just doing to go inside. So I go inside. I didn't get a drink. I go inside and I go, hey man, look, I have been waiting 4 years for High C Orange to come back. Will you please, for the love of God, just give me a cup filled half with High C Orange and half with Blue Powerade? And the dude looked at me and was like, yeah, man, I got you. Bro, give these people everything they want. Healthcare, yep. $20 an hour? Fuck it, man. I don't care. That guy, he deserves it. He saved, like, bro, shit was incredible. I drove to my haircut happy as fuck. I was just sipping on that fucking potion, baby. Fucking half High C Orange, half Blue Powerade, that green swamp fucking drink. Made my fucking week, bro. Made it.
One might say it looks like Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. Get some weed in now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. 'Tis I, Colton Robertson, and you're back for the WandaVision Watch. And sadly, last episode of it, considering this last one was the finale. And what a finale it was. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Mr. Pee-Pee Poo-Poo Man in the house?
Massive Pee-Pee Poo-Poo Man himself. We also have Miles motherfucking Buttress. What's up, homie?
Not much. Glad to be here. Glad to be on, finally get some answers.
Oh, I'm fucking ready to talk about it too. And then on the screen below me that I can see and you cannot, Kyler Barnett. What's up, homie?
Nothing much. Let's get straight to it. Last one.
Let's talk about it. So, as I've told you guys, I didn't take notes here. It was, I took notes in the past episodes as an effort to reassure my theories for the coming episodes. And since there are no coming episodes, I feel like I can talk about it pretty comfortably just as is.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't ready for this one, if you can't just talk off the dome about this one, shit, man.
Can we maybe start with just general feelings of the entire episode and post-credit scenes included? Honestly,
I love it.
Go ahead. Okay.
I loved it. It was a great finale, and honestly, obviously, we got lost in some theories on the way here.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I think it's important that the week before, the creator Matt Shackman or whatever came out and said people are gonna be disappointed by the finale given their theories.
And as soon as I saw that quote before going into the finale, I was like, okay, so we're not getting Mephisto. We're not getting Reed fucking Richards. We're not getting any of this shit.
Yeah, I think it was I think it was like an expectation management thing. Like, I don't feel like, like, because I've never watched a show or watched a Marvel movie where like they kind of like spoil, like, I don't want to say spoiled, but like kind of spoiled stuff. Like, they let out the Vision news the week like before the episode came out. Like, I think that's an expectation thing. They didn't want outrage. They wanted like, hey, when you come into this episode, be prepared not to see like Sir Ian McKellen or like fucking Patrick Stewart. Don't expect to see John Krasinski. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just, this has been really the only show where people went so far in depth with theories. Like, the general population was invested in this show more than almost any other show in recent history. And I think, like,
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the investment into this show, like, just from a cultural standpoint, like, just from, like, pop culture, like, this show dominated. Like, this was trending every, like, Thursday from, like, 8 p.m. until, like, 8 p.m. the next day. Like, I would go on my Twitter and, like, barring that's probably some cookies at work and my FBI agent, but, like, still, that shit was, like, dominated.
I think that reason kind of, like, if you take WandaVision and you just watch it at surface level, and you make some predictions, but nothing insane. Like, that's a good ass finale.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the fact that we expected so much more to happen.
And here's what I'll say. I think what helped me come to terms, like, what helped wrap up the show as a whole for me was seeing, it's Matt Sackman, right? Not Shackman, it's Sackman, right?
Oh, my bad.
No, I'm asking. I don't know what you said. I don't even remember. I was just trying to ask what it was. I think it's Sackman, but anyway. I love that he talked about how we only got Agatha as the only, like, he even labeled it as like a bonus bad. Like, the main bad of this show is supposed to be like Wanda's trauma, her grief. Yeah. And like, when you watch this show in that regard and then see her make the decisions that she does and watch this finale from that, like, I didn't even, like, in the rewatch when I had read that and then watched it and, like, analyzing the show from start to finish, dude, like, that shit hits so hard because it's like, God damn, how do you have the, like, wherewithal still after all this time, after all you've been through, going through so much, finally having some sort of semblance of normal and happiness to make the decisions that she did? Like, that was the growth. That was the arc. That was the story. Not like Agatha. Like, that's a side plot. Like, this is her dealing with the trauma, the grief. And, like, dude, when you watch it from that standpoint, oh my God, it rocked my shit.
I think it's safe to say that, like, obviously on first watch through, most of the time, throughout the show's run, this only season, I thought, like, MCU level ramifications on my first watch, but second level watch, I know what I'm getting into. I watch it from that perspective, and it's like, okay, this is just a story about Wanda. Like, that's it.
Yeah, we don't really get MCU level ramifications until the end credit scene.
Yeah,
and everything before that is solely Wanda level ramifications.
And I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
I think these shows should be more supplemental than they are anything. Like, I think that's what's great is because, like, we got more character development from Wanda and Vision in this show than we got in when Wanda got introduced, there's probably 14 movies ballpark. Like, I'm just throwing a guess out there. Probably anywhere from 12 to 15 movies after that with her just after she was introduced. I mean, we got more character development in this nine episode show, like, that's important.
This is why I'm so excited. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I still think this can have MCU level ramifications, just not on the Reed Richards, not on the X-Men are coming type thing. I think Wanda being in the place she's in, and obviously the end credit does have MCU level ramifications, but I think just from an emotional standpoint, like knowing where Wanda's at now in all of this process and where she was at the beginning, that has ramifications. I mean, look at what she's uncovered just because of these feelings and this trauma. Like, that's big time. Like, and I'm not saying any of you were downplaying it. That was just my thoughts on it.
No, 100%. I get you. And, like, what's mostly, like, MCU level stuff for us is the unleashing of the Scarlet Witch, which was just absolutely fucking badass. And what's important there for me is when Agatha is like, Like, she makes a big deal here. Like, holy shit, you do not know what you just did. Like, you don't understand the ramifications of the actions you just took. And like, obviously we don't know the ramifications either. Like, we just know that she has the potential to be the most powerful being there is. And obviously that's scary, but it's like, how much control can she have over the Scarlet Witch? Is it something that's like destined to get away from her? Like she said, there's a whole page dedicated to her in the Darkhold, the Book of the Damned. So it's like, what the fuck are we dealing with here with Wanda as the Scarlet Witch?
Dude, like,
number's still going.
There he is. I cut out, didn't I?
I think. What did you end on? Was it
a whole page of the Book of the Damned?
Okay, that was it.
I think we heard most. Okay, good.
Yeah, we heard most of it. More important than every other scene we got, more important to MCU, more important to Disney, more important to Marvel as a whole.
Wow.
We got a boner joke in a Disney movie.
Yes.
Can we talk about how honestly, whenever I first realized, I was like, all right, so they're obvious. So Evan Peters clearly isn't Quicksilver. They're doing something with him. He's just a normal dude. That pisses me off. And then she says, Ralph Boner, and he goes, Boner. Immediately, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm down for it. I loved it.
Honestly, that
was all it took for me to love his character enough to make it worth it.
I took it as the opposite. At first glance, I was like, is this the directors just giving a big middle finger to the entire audience of theorizing who this could have been? And then he just is a boner joke. That's the only reason he's in the show, basically.
Yeah, no, they really brought it in, teased it that he was Pietro, that he was going to be X-Men level ramifications, MCU, all this stuff, and it was just a season-long boner joke, and I am there for it.
So it's funny
100%
because
the best thing that happened all season.
Yeah, and it's funny that like we all kind of like this reception, because I remember when me and Colton recorded Iron Man 3, which is typically not like the most respected or enjoyed movie, and everyone, like, I feel like the general public doesn't like the Mandarin twist. But me and Colton, when we talked about it, we're like, oh, I fucking loved that. Like, because we talked about how, like, you're allowed to make twists. Like, it doesn't have to strictly follow the comics. Like, if you feel like you can make a change and make a twist that's your own and make it your own movie and make it, and it's still good, it's worth watching, it's interesting, I fucking was here for it. Like, obvious, like, yeah, would having Quicksilver have been awesome? And now does this probably likely rule out that whenever we get any X-Men content that Evan Peters is Quicksilver, which kind of sucks? Yeah, it probably does. But like I said, the fact that
I almost think this means Quicksilver is just not coming back.
Yeah, I don't think Quicksilver's ever like, he's done. Like, he's not coming back.
Yeah, so even if they do an X-Men like expansion, I just think Quicksilver is
like
out of that
I see what you're saying. Like, we've lost our Marvel Universe Quicksilver already.
Yeah. Like, there might and there could we are getting into multiverse stuff, so there is the chance he could show up as a boner joke in a multiverse as Quicksilver, which I would also be down for.
Fucking absurd it is that Marvel got two fucking outstanding actors to play Quicksilver, and both of the first one was kind of fucked over with a death.
Yeah, the first one was gunned down, and the second one was a boner joke.
For fucking Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. And bro, every speedster ever, and every property ever can dodge bullets. It's hilarious that he died getting shot.
Are we just going to go around to topics, or are we going to go in kind of chronological order?
Fuck it. We're just talking.
Okay.
I think it's clear the WandaVision podcast has slowly devolved into chaos, just like Wanda did. So I feel like we just roll with it and go full Scarlet Witch mode and just accept the chaos.
I just want to say one thing. Whenever you gain your powers, do you just kind of know what to do? Because, okay, if I was Monica, like whenever Hayward's about to shoot them for some reason, how he's that motivated to kill children.
Dude.
But how Monica instantly jumped in front of them, but she kind of knew she was able to stop bullets. Like,
I don't think she knew that she was able to stop bullets.
Do you think she was just going to take the hit?
I think she was going to take the bullets, and she was almost a little surprised whenever it stopped.
I don't know.
And that's why whenever the kid's like, I like your powers, and she was like, yeah, me too.
Or do you think it was like kind of a defensive mechanism? Like
that too. I think it's a little bit of both. Like, it's like she didn't know she was going to do that. It just happened because that's what her body told her to do, you know?
Because I thought it would be really cool if, like, her specifically, like, she can see energy and kind of, like, what controls things. Like, if she could see into her own power and be, like, understand it just because that's, like, what her power is, if that makes sense.
I almost see it as kind of like a baby, like, breathing type thing where they don't know to breathe, but their body knows that they have to.
Okay, yeah.
And then, like, with that, like, their superpowers, she doesn't know to use her powers to stop the bullets, but her body knows, hey, if I don't use the powers to stop this bullet, I'm going to take a bullet and probably die. So let's just, flash the powers for a second.
True.
Okay, I want to talk about how outstanding this show is one more fucking time real quick. Just the fact that we thought Ralph Boner, we were so convinced at the end of episode 8 that Ralph Boner was a bunny rabbit and was Agatha's
Was
son.
a bunny rabbit named Nicholas Scratch.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
it also had Joseph convinced that a human was Ultron.
It's not over yet, folks. I
Oh.
still
No,
believe in it.
It's definitely
I
over.
still believe in it. This
Ultron
is why.
can come back, but Hayward is not his path back.
All right, let's talk
Joseph,
about it.
Hayward's
Let's
just
talk
a
about
fucking dick. He just sucks.
Hayward's in prison. Why would it, if he was Ultron? Why would he not have just gone like, oh, sup bitches, and used Ultron powers?
Because he doesn't want to reveal himself at that moment. That's a bad moment to reveal himself. Okay, this is important. This is what I was going to talk about after Monica's power thing. He was beyond motivated to kill those children. Without hesitation.
Yeah,
dude.
because he's a dick.
No. I can see how people think he's just the dick who wanted the expensive machine to kill Wanda. Honestly, killing Wanda would be the excuse of bringing in this machine, and using it as a weapon to show the world, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, that person doesn't go out of his way to kill the children of Wanda.
See, I think it was almost like he viewed Wanda as the reason now why he was not going to be successful, why he wasn't going to be the hero in this story, and so his way to get back at Wanda was going to be by killing her kids.
No.
And then he got hit by Darcy.
No. Here's what Ultron's doing. He sees that those children make Wanda happy. So he wanted to kill them so bad to make Wanda even sadder so that he can come out as Ultron and then have Wanda by his side. Or Ultron by Wanda's side, probably, most likely, because Wanda's probably way more powerful than Ultron.
So why do you think
Probably is.
Ultron, if he's Ultron and he kills her kids, why is she then going to be like, all right, you killed my kids, I guess I'll team up with you?
No. So I think about these theories in so much detail, but what I get out of my mouth is piss poor, and I leave so many holes.
Okay.
But why would Wanda want to join Ultron after that? Here's why. She would go so deep in a hole where she is so emotional, blah, blah, blah. She joined Hydra, for God's sake, dude. She joined Hydra.
Hydra didn't kill her kids.
Okay, but they were bad, and she knew they were bad, but they might have brainwashed her. But okay,
Yeah, but she viewed. Yeah, all right.
we should move on because I can talk about this Ultron shit.
I
for
know you
5
could.
hours.
I know you could. I should.
All I'm saying is I'm holding on. It's a thread, but I'm holding on because I only believe 10% in it, but I want to believe in it 100%. I just want that beer.
I don't know if you guys saw the comments from the creator of the show this week about like some of the things about the show overall and the finale specifically that kind of went wrong or didn't pan out exactly the way they expected. I like the fact that the aerospace engineer was never going to be anybody. There was never anything, and the Teyonah Parris quote about it was bullshit, just like the quote from Kevin Feige like a week earlier. I like that this show, Joe was kind of right in something, in that it was once supposed to be 10 episodes and was now only 9. And the fact that Monica originally had a bigger impact on the finale. So, like, I think we almost got Evan Peters was the bunny and the son. And then they were like, nah, this is too fucking wacky. We just got to keep him up in that room with Monica, and that's that.
I really think that the fact that Monica Rambeau didn't end up being as much of a part in the finale kind of signals to me that maybe they're like, there's obviously something bigger in the cards. Like, they wouldn't withhold her from any of that. Like, and I don't know if that's even necessarily a reach. I feel like that's kind of obvious regardless. But I just feel like if she would have had more of a role, like, I don't know. I could see getting a TV show surrounding like a photon. Like,
Yeah.
I think
given that post-credit scene.
Yeah, and I just feel like
Fury is sending for her.
Yeah, that's who. Yeah, I think it's funny because me and you, Colton, were on the same page as soon as we watched it that was Nick Fury sending for her. But didn't Joseph say it was someone? Think it was someone else?
I thought it was Nick Fury immediately.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, I thought somebody.
I thought we all did.
I thought somebody threw out something.
I think I might have.
Joseph, my bad. I'm
all good. Hey, all good, bro.
You might have thrown out a big brain.
Your track record precedes you, man. My bad.
No, but
I thought
think
somebody.
You are remembering correctly. I think I did say Nick Fury first, but then I was like, what if it's blank? And it was so out there. Oh, what?
Mind you, this is the same Joseph that one time sent us like 20 messages in a row in Chinese or Greek or some shit and had no fucking clue. And he claims that when he was sending them, he could understand it. But when he went back and read them, he had no idea that it was in a different language.
I swear to God, I could understand those. They made sense. They were full.
That was an absolute banana night for the pod. That was a great night for the pod. It was like 2:45 in the morning after WandaVision, and Joseph is just sending different fucking language.
Yeah, he's sending messages in Greek
prophecies.
Bro, my man's is Percy Jackson. It's not dyslexia, bro. You got this shit.
I'm a demigod, bro.
Fuck with me. Fuck with me, Joseph. Talk to him.
He is Zeus. He is Zeus himself. Zeus,
you know the thunderstorm that's going on right now? Maybe for some of you, only half of you probably. I'm causing it right now. So, yeah.
Well, we were talking about how Wanda's obviously going to be the most powerful being in the MCU, and I think. We were talking about Monica. Monica. Secret Invasion is kind of what they were setting up with that post-credit scene with Nick Fury. I don't know if you guys have heard the rumors about Secret Invasion. It's kind of like the Skrull thing where I think it's going to follow Nick Fury. It's kind of be his series, which is going to be kind of...
I think...
If I remember correctly, Secret Invasion is the one where like superheroes start getting replaced by Skrulls, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So like they can go on vacation too and be in that little...
No,
room?
I think original, like in the comics, because I don't think the Skrulls are good in the comics. So I think it's the superheroes.
It's a big universe.
Yeah, it depends on which way they want to take it.
That's fair. Yeah, but I know that I know in the comics it's just like them getting replaced by Skrulls for whatever reason.
Why did the Skrull that was talking to Monica, like after like, where am I going to meet him? And then she just pointed to the sky. Like, no one would do that in actual conversation. That's the weirdest thing to do. Like,
if you.
Well, and I also thought it was funny the way Monica just kind of looked off into the distance. Can you imagine doing that in practice? Like, someone points to the sky and is like, "You're going to space," and then they just go,
"Wow!"
Like,
I almost think that was more of like a sarcastic response because she was like, he's calling for you. And she was like, where will I meet him? She's like, where the fuck do you think you're going to meet him?
Dude,
you know he's on a space station.
I think it was just a cringy moment that they thought was cool because it was hella cringe.
No, I thought it was.
It's almost certainly that.
In and of itself. I thought it was cool.
I think it shows that like Monica's like ready. Like Monica's like, oh shit, like it's almost like that like Nick Fury moment when he realized that this universe got a whole lot bigger, or like a Tony Stark when he realized like when he flew into space and saw everything. He was holy shit.
This for me was when this is for like in the post-credit scene where Cap is in the gym fighting, like hitting the boxing bag, and Nick Fury approaches him is like, I want you on a team. Like that. This is her moment. This is her version of that.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Well, duh. How did I not even think about that? That's a duh.
It's fucking dope. And because he's up in space, he's sending Skrulls to do his shit.
Dude, he's just a chillax kind of. He kind of earned it. Not gonna
He
lie.
earned that retirement, and like just being up in a Skrull space station assures he's never going to get another assassination attempt, homie.
If it weren't for Nick Fury, do you think everyone would have been dead, or Thanos would not have been stopped because it wouldn't have been a group? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, if they weren't a group, Earth would have been fucked multiple times over.
true.
Yeah, like
Because,
Loki's invasion.
Loki
probably
would have
been
conquered
over.
it.
Damn. Fucking Nick Fury, man.
Nick Fury. That's
Goat.
that dude right there. But it is interesting thinking about where Monica's story could go in terms of Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. Is that I got to think that they're setting up Photon and Captain Marvel to work together, right? Like
I don't know because
I almost
The
think
reason-
they're going to do like they're butting heads at first, and then
Yeah.
they face some big bad that they have to work together to
yeah,
defeat.
because Nick Fury and Monica kind of scoffed at Captain
Yeah.
Marvel's name.
I feel like there's some bad blood there right now.
I don't.
Well, Nick Fury doesn't have bad blood with Captain Marvel. It's just that like he doesn't like when people invoke her name in terms of problems that
I
are
don't
too
know.
small
I
for
felt
her to
that seemed different. That makes sense, but his reaction seemed different than when he's reacted in that way before.
All right.
I don't know. I feel
Like, that was in Far From Home, right? When Spider-Man's like Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Don't you say her name?" Like,
yeah. It felt different than that.
Well, keep in mind that was a scroll too, right? So like
that was a scroll as Nick Fury. That's
But
true.
he has all of its memories and everything. So
yeah,
they know.
but Captain Marvel
Not all of
single-handedly saved their life. So of course they're gonna scoff when someone brings up their name for just some petty-ish thing. That to them was hey, she came through and saved the shit out of our lives. She doesn't need to concern herself with
But
something as little as this.
Do you think that they're mad that she was not on Earth during the second fight? Because yeah, you could be helping in other planets and universes that have blipped, but you got to take out the source. If you don't take out the
come back,
source,
though.
nothing. But she was gone for basically that whole time. I don't know. I guess maybe that I can't find another reason in which why they would be mad.
I don't think. See, that's the thing is that I got to think Monica's got to have some separate beef with Captain Marvel, if there even is a beef that hasn't been explained. It's,
Maybe
I've
about her
seen
mom.
some stuff that it might be her mom had cancer, and maybe Captain Marvel being a cosmic powered being, maybe that could be the cause of it or something like that.
Yeah, but at the same
and saying
time,
she could potentially blame her for her mom getting cancer or something stupid like that.
But Monica should be able to sympathize or empathize because she got her powers from the same shit pretty much. And not the same. I mean,
if your best friend could save your mom from dying, I'd be kind of pissed if she didn't.
Oh no, that's not. I was saying that she could have potentially caused her mom to die.
Oh,
man,
The close contact gave her cancer, but I don't know. I just saw it was some super weird theory that I saw.
We are off the rails, fellas.
I don't know because she did mention to Wanda if I had your powers, I would bring my mom back. That's the first thing I would do without hesitation. She said that to Wanda.
Mhm.
So maybe Captain Marvel had this power or theorized she had this power. Because
I don't think Captain Marvel ever had
it's
that type of. It's not those type of powers.
I don't know the Space Stone, bro. It's an Infinity Stone. She has the power of an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, but Wanda's powers are different.
It could be a thing where Captain Marvel was off world for so long, and Monica's mom was off running Sword, and maybe had tried to reach out to Captain Marvel, yo, I could really use a hand in this, or some information.
Ooh. Yeah, or just the fact that
think about what Sword would be working on back then. Obviously, having the strong, one of the strongest, cosmic beings and heroes, having them as some insight and input, and getting, I don't know.
it could be as simple as her mother was dying. She said, "Hey, I really need a friend right now. You're not here with me. It sucks being alone, going through my death of my mom." And then, maybe Captain Marvel was
honestly,
just
that's probably the most legit idea there. The thing there though is that her mom died while she was gone, so it's maybe it's the fact that she hasn't seen her since she blipped back. She knew Monica had.
Oh, yeah.
She probably knew Monica was blipped away, and then didn't care enough to come.
Well, at the same
Say
time,
what's
like
up
whenever
when
she
she
was
flipped back?
whenever she flipped back, she thought that she was in the moment that she like was whenever she blipped. So she thought she was in 5 years ago, and
but she figured it out.
yeah,
So I think that's what what
Yeah.
he's saying is she figured out.
yeah, that's true.
My mom's dead. It's been this long. Why, and it's been however long since the unblippening happened. Why hasn't Captain Marvel come to see me and
How would Captain Marvel see them if she was blipped? Like Captain Marvel wouldn't come back. Her mom was already dead. Like maybe she was actually there for her mother's death, but just Monica was obviously blipped at the time. Like she was not there at all. None of her.
Who knows? I'm sure they'll find a seamless way to tie that up for us.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I
they
told
will.
you
But
we would talk longer about the post-credit scene than the actual episode.
you were right.
Well, we
That brings us to the other.
we have yet
post-credit
to talk
scene.
about the episode though.
Yep, we have.
Let's talk about
not
the
even,
other post-credit scene first, though. I want to talk about how Wanda was astral projecting while her physical body was still vibing.
Was she astral projecting?
Yes.
Or was it the two personalities or two people she has inside of her?
Stop, Joseph.
What do
Stop.
you mean? How is that so far out there? I think this is like a literal way that they're showing us that there is a different part of Wanda, the Scarlet Witch part of her, and then there's the Wanda that we know. I think, dude,
Bro, it looks
'Cause we've seen astral projection before.
You can't do that. If they're going to do that, it has to look so different.
Why would she be astral projecting herself in the middle of nowhere where no one would see her?
Because it's efficient.
all.
Why did Doctor Strange do it when he was just sitting? Like, what was he doing? Wasn't he like? He was reading a book while he was astral projecting, but he was doing some just random just nothing, like just
It's
no
two
shit
of her,
at all.
bro. It's two of her. It flew into her and it's back out, bro.
Nah, you're wilding. You're out of
There's
pocket.
two of
You're
her.
out of
You're
pocket.
fucking wild.
You're
today,
out of
Joseph.
pocket. You're out of pocket.
There's two of her.
No, I think it's as simple as she was just astral projecting. She's so powerful that she can do it while she's awake, and she's using it to read up on the Darkhold. And we hear Billy and Tommy call out to their mother, potentially through a multiverse type thing going on. Like, where did they go? Did they go to the quantum realm because they exist? Can they truly vanish? Is it like energy can never truly be destroyed? Like, are they really gone?
Maybe they're in the Soul Stone. I don't know
I don't
how
know how
Wanda
they
would
get
have.
there,
I mean, they're dead. Like,
But were they ever really alive?
What is Wanda accessing that's allowing her to hear her children right now? Like,
We don't know.
she's
That's
reading
my
something.
thing. Is that I think that because she created the hex and then created beings inside of that hex, like they can't not exist anymore. Like, I guess because like they didn't die technically, they just they blipped essentially. Like their version of a blip. The hex doesn't exist, therefore they don't exist. So where did they go?
Do you think they had to go somewhere? Because Wanda made something out of nothing.
I mean, kind of like how she, how
I'm just saying
Mind
that
Stone.
based off the fact she can hear them at the end.
True.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is kind of like how the Mind Stone created that the sentience for Vision. Maybe the Mind Stone was maybe in a subconsciously she used the Mind Stone to create two new consciousnesses in Billy and Tommy, and she's somehow accessing them through whatever she's learned from the Darkhold, and is going to try and find a way to recreate her children or whatever.
Well, then we start getting into the Nexus being stuff, because she is the center of the multiverse, according to there's no other reason they show that commercial, right? That's not just an Easter
I don't
egg.
think she's the center, but I think she can
She's
get
an
to
access point.
the pathway.
Yeah.
She is this universe's access point to other dimensions.
Okay, hang on.
For this, sorry, okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to backtrack for a second, just because I'm on Twitter and I just saw this. So I guess early on, it's Shackman, Matt Shackman.
Shackman, that was right,
just
all
to clear. There were talks early on about bringing Aaron Taylor Johnson back as Quicksilver, which that's the original Quicksilver from our MCU.
Yeah.
That's Pietro. So he was we almost got him coming back.
Then they thought of the Ralph Boner twist, and they were like,
Yeah, then they thought of
They probably
having a
thought
boner
that
joke
bringing
instead.
back her actual brother and then making him just a boner joke was like, that's too
That would have been
fucked
pretty
up.
funny though.
That's fucked up. Like,
Number 3.
What I was gonna say though, I wanted so badly at 2 different points because of like White Vision just kind of fucking off and doing his own thing. I wanted both whenever. What'd you say?
I said we haven't even talked Vision versus Vision.
Yeah. But the White Vision, whenever he just kind of like flew off, I wanted both whenever like the hex was like contracting and she was like holding Vision's hand. I really wanted it to contract all the way and for it to just be White Vision standing there. That would have been I would have loved that. Also, whenever she went inside the little cabin, which is why I was thinking about it because of the post-credit scene, I wanted White Vision to be in there with her.
Bro.
Because I thought that would have been pretty cool. But it also, because he's not, means that we're probably going to get something of like the Adventures of Vision,
Can we talk
the short stories where he's going to be off on his own, figuring himself out.
Can we talk about where he went, bro? Where did he go?
He's probably just out soul searching. Like, bro,
Let
he
me
just
tell
had
you something. The thing that's confusing here is the fact that his eyes went all humanoid. Because that tells me that he came back. Like, that's him.
Yeah, that's just normal Vision now with a white.
I don't think it's him because he didn't go back to Wanda immediately.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's going to be basically just like to, I guess, make it to a comparison to something we've seen. It's going to be the Gamora, like, Peter Quill thing. Like in Endgame, where...
I do,
so,
and here's why. The comic book basis is that the White Vision in West Coast Avengers knows Wanda's his wife, knows Billy and Tommy are their kids. He knows all this. He just does not have any emotional attachment to that idea.
I don't think that's true, though. I don't think it's true now. I think the fact that his eyes went humanoid, like about the rot in the ship of Theseus, like saying, these are your memories, like they're not so easily wiped. Like he has every memory he's ever had, and he made the eye transformation. And I think it's literally their way of saying, like, this is the real Vision that just,
Yeah,
he
but I'm with
had his own.
He would have went right back to Wanda. There's no way.
I think it's almost like,
but he knew
it's the real Vision.
I don't know.
I think it's the real Vision with all those memories, but he's almost like he knows those emotional attachments are there,
but he didn't.
He lived them and he knows they're his. But what I was going to say is he knows their attachments are there, but I almost think he needs to like figure it out for himself because even though it is, decompress because he's been dead for 5 years. So he needs to handle those in his own ways.
Or he knew he did not have time to go back to Wanda and explain the whole ship of Theseus conversation and then be like, hey, I'm Vision now. I'm your Vision. He knew that made-up Vision would stay and be with Wanda because that's who Wanda would want to have fighting by her side. And he has something hella important because without hesitation, that boy went. He said, I am Vision. And boom, knew exactly where to go, dude.
Yo, you ever seen the TikToks? You know the TikTok audio? I don't know what the first song that plays, but it's like something about like your significant other, and it's like something like it's like you being like simpy or like attracted about it or whatever. And then like it says like a caption, it's like something that they do that's like not attractive basically. And then it plays the what's the what's the theme song? What's that? Who made Seinfeld? What's that guy's name? Larry David. Yes, Herb and that. Yes, and then it's like they make the face where it's like because it's like they're like I can't tell. Like that's how. What? Imagine if Wanda sees White Vision and she's like, like just not about it. Not. It sucks because I make these faces thinking that everyone will know exactly what I'm talking about, and like the faces are so important to it. So I'm sorry for everyone listening that this probably makes no fucking sense.
Bruh, I think he'll like morph into whatever. His human form again. I don't think he's going to stay albino boy, No,
I think he does.
I think he gets a new paint job.
Bro. He's not going to stay that albino boy.
I just want to see Vision. I want to see the Vision with the memes with the fucking gold chain and the turtleneck and the waves, bro. I want to see
the black turtleneck, the gold chains, the hands clasped in front of him.
Bro. Or
what is drip? What is drip if not sauce persevering?
No, bro. I ain't going to cap. Homie was looking cute for a robot.
I think he started a new trend, bro. I think he started a new trend.
Is all the like tweets and stuff afterwards about the what is like Kyler said, the what is drip, but
no, I'm not talking about a
whatever persevering. Media. I love those. I love the I saw one that was like what is twerking, but ass persevering.
Dude, I think more guys are going to start wearing black turtlenecks. On God. I mean,
it was a fucking look.
I think dudes are going to be Vishon for Halloween with their girlfriend as Scarlet Witch. Like, that's what I would do if I had a girl right now.
Bro, I saw some shit that was like...
I'm going to be Vishon, bro.
Like, oh no, I hope all the college girls don't dress up as Scarlet Witch for Halloween.
Me and Emily's costume is the Wanda and Vision Halloween costumes. That's what we're going with. Let's talk Vision versus Vision for a second. I love that they are both so intelligent that it's dumb of them to fight.
Yeah, well, and here's what I think. I think it shows that, like, Vision, they both understand neither of them are going to get the upper hand here. There is absolutely no purpose in, like you said.
It definitely looked like White Vision was about to get the upper hand.
Well, part of that is the environment was closing around Vision, so he's getting weaker and weaker. Like,
okay, that's fair. Just because, like, the entire fight, Vision didn't land a single, like, good hit on White Vision.
He sent that man through a camper. I mean, he sent that man through a camper and drug his ass through the fucking cement.
Yeah.
Ooh, is it really good that we have a white albino boy beating on Vishon, bro? That is not good. That's not a good look. Man.
No, I just think it shows that, like, I did like that. Because, like, I don't know. When you get these finale things and you get these battle scenes, like these last fights, like, I don't ever want to say that Marvel makes them get, well, I will say sometimes they get stale. And especially one where Wanda and Agatha are still going to be fighting for a while. And then you have the whole Hayward and the kids and Monica Ram and the Photon scene. There's still a lot of fighting to be had in this episode. So it's like, man, if we're going to get 3 separate fights, this whole, like, that's going to take up a lot of time. Like, and I'm not saying I get bored of it, but it just is like, at what point is enough? So, like, getting this, like,
Well, and it was just so true to the character.
Yeah,
like, this is
absolutely.
Such a Vision thing to do.
It reminded me a lot of Vision's, like, monologue at the end of Age of Ultron when it's just him and Ultron. And, like, they don't even fight they don't even fight. They're just sitting there talking.
It reminded me of him talking in Civil War about the Sokovia Accords when he's like, our very existence breeds conflict. Like he's like, I'm going to look at this from the most logical point of view possible and just let you know that we are going to fight and we are creating the fight because we fight,
Right. And he's always just going to he's always going to see things from like a whole deeper microscope. Like he's always looking from such a deeper perspective, Damn. And so like, I don't know. I just love that part. I love the monologue. I love the dialogue of it. I loved everything about it.
With the thought experiment, the ship of Theseus.
Yeah. Really loved how he just hit him with the. Are you familiar with this? And he goes.
And then like I love that White Vision was like, well, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck do you think I am? Of course, I've heard of the thought experiment.
What do you think I am, a dumbass?
What I loved is how much White Vision in this moment felt like the other Vision almost in a sense because like he immediately took pause as soon as Vision spit those words out. He immediately had no interest in being like fighting anymore.
Yeah,
he was like,
as soon as he said,
"Oh, I'm with this shit." Like he was captivated.
I loved when he's like,
"But I'm not the real Vision. I'm a conditional Vision."
Yeah, he's like, "My prime programming directive is to destroy the Vision." He's like, "Well, I'm not the real Vision. I'm a conditional Vision." And then like he's like, "I request."
He's like, "Interesting. Continue."
Bro, it felt so respectful. It felt so respectful. It was just like the most nice banter back and forth. Like
it was the big brain fight that we didn't know we wanted.
Neither of us have to lose here. Like neither of us have to lose here, my guy. Like you just listen to me. We got this.
Have you guys seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Yes.
It's like the end of that movie with Nega Scott. When he shows up and he's like, he's a good guy. We shot the shit. We're going for brunch next Tuesday. It's gonna be a hoot.
Oh man! Oh, I love the line when he was like, "Well, at one point you had to think that you are the true Vision, correct?"
Yeah, he's like, "Well, you must be the true Vision before you think yourself to be."
And he's like, "Well, that was my directive until I saw you." Like it was. Oh man, I don't know. It's just so.
It was. It's amazing.
Brainy boys.
It's amazing how they managed to get super nerdy inside of a TV show about a witch who uses chaos magic.
Okay.
set in a comic book universe, and they managed to get nerdier than all of that.
I never would have anticipated that the first show the MCU gives us that I would love watching would culminate in a battle between witches in which the subplot is a philosophical discussion about the ship of Theseus. Like
between two robots.
Exactly. Like, that's the beauty of this show. I never could have told you this is where we were going.
Also, Colton, that 5 minutes prior punctuated a storyline with a boner joke.
Exactly.
This whole season had so many different ways it could have gone, and it really went the way that no one could have guessed.
Can we talk about how strong?
Let's be for real. It was probably the simplest. If they were gonna wrap it up in a way that was satisfying to everybody, regardless of your wild ass theories, this was the way to do it. Like they wrapped everything up in a logical way that you couldn't poke holes in, and you're just gonna be like, okay, yeah, that was exactly how it went, and I'm happy with it, honestly.
And honestly, what was interesting is still feeling like we got enough substance. Like, looking back at it, like all of those theories we threw out, god damn, well, who did we think we were throwing that shit out there and expecting them to do that in fucking 9 episodes? Who the fuck did we think that, like, how did we expect them to pull that shit off?
We had those theories up through episodes 6, 7, and 8, bro. Like,
I know. Like, it was really that simple. Like, they're just not gonna do that. Like, it's that simple. But we're sitting here like,
simple. They're just not. Yeah.
Nah, bro, they're in a corner. They only got 45 minutes of runtime left to wrap up all this shit. There's no way. We gotta do this.
Wait.
It's like, no, the fuck they don't.
Wait.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay.
What's happening next week? What's this Friday?
Yeah, we already know this is about to be bananas. Here we go. Let's eat.
So, the conditional vision, right, said your data is not so easily erased. Like he could give it back to him if he wanted, basically. So he went up, touched his forehead, which is kind of funny because you'd probably nut during this because you would think of all the times you were boning Elizabeth Olsen. Like, oh my god,
holy shit!
Okay, that's not my main point.
Get it together.
Not my main point at all. But
this man,
Vision, he uploaded his data. He uploaded his data into Albino Boy, and part of his data is Ultron. This is how he wakes up. Wake up, people. Wake up,
here's
America.
The thing. The important thing to me is that he went out of his way to mention he's a carbon-based synthezoid, and that's what's hard to retain.
Yeah, I don't think he downloaded his memory or uploaded his memories to him. He just unlocked them because they were all still there because of the atomic structure.
No. Well, this would make total sense considering it comes from Wanda's power, and Wanda made this vision that's in this universe. It would kind of make sense that it would be unlockable. Like, it's not like I refuse to believe that White Vision, if he's really as intuitive as he's supposed to be, that this man would only remember he woke up as. You're telling me this man's basically only has memory from the minute he woke up?
Think about it this way. Maybe Ultron couldn't wake up in fake Vision. He couldn't wake up because he wasn't, the real Vision. But now he takes off immediately. Maybe he is Ultron from that point. He can finally wake up, and he did.
Why couldn't he wake up in
let
the
me get this
original?
straight. He went, I am Vision, became Ultron, and flew off.
Yeah. That's, because if he was Vision, you're right. He would go straight to Wanda. But then he's
my god! Don't use that as a weapon against us. Bullshit! Don't use that as a weapon against us.
I will contradict myself.
Bullshit! You weren't with that shit 10 minutes ago.
I will contradict
don't want
myself
you coming back
10 times in one
that
sentence.
Was outstanding.
I will contradict myself 10 times in one sentence. I'm not afraid to do it for one time, bro.
What are we supposed to say to that, too? Now,
we literally said if he was actually Vision, he would have gone straight to Wanda.
Oh my god!
His Ultron thing holds up more than anything we're saying. Honestly, Joseph has the most integrity here.
This is bullshit. He was gaming us. This man was playing us. Fuck you, Joseph.
Maybe I'm Ultron. Think about that.
Joseph's been 3 steps ahead this whole time.
Ultron reached out through the theater screen in 2015 and touched Joe.
On some fucking
Maybe he's trying to get out.
Oh my god.
He's trying to get out and into albino boy.
Strikeout video boy.
Bro. So another thing that Matt Strackman talked about in this in that interview was something about how the CGI wasn't completely done because of the COVID kind of ruining shit. And I was wondering if you guys caught like anything that seemed to be like not as well done as you would expect.
I think at some points, like during motion was kind of weird, kind of unnatural. Obviously, I mean, they are witches, so it's not very natural. But like, I think what they kind of meant by that is like the effects themselves were still good, but they didn't accomplish what they wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, they had to tone it down a lot.
I felt like there were times where it looked a little more campy than Marvel typically does. Like, it looked, shit, I'm not going to even say it looks like if you can find that, like, media, you know how, what are the shows, like, what is that universe called? The DC shows with, like, Supergirl, you know, all of those.
Arrowverse.
Yeah, the Arrowverse. Some of the effects in those, like those, like I watched a fight scene, a clip on Twitter of Supergirl, like when they had the big like crossover event, and it was like, I don't even know who the big bad was. I didn't watch those shows, but like that campiness, it wasn't that level, but like there were times where I was like, this isn't quite up to Marvel quality, like Marvel movie quality, but at the same time, it's a TV show. So, like...
Well, that's the thing, though, is that, like, given what we've seen from Disney Plus, what we saw with The Mandalorian...
This is what sucks, is that the Star Wars stuff looks so Star Wars.
So it's
it's literally...
Like, they look pretty damn good in the volume.
If they were in the volume, the show would be way better, and we would have had a 10th episode, probably.
Oh, my God.
But I like the fact that this was the most expensive show ever per episode. And the reason for that is the sets they built every single episode. Like for the first 6 episodes, like they didn't have the same house every time. Like they changed the living room completely.
They built
also
7 houses.
I'm going to be fair, or I'm going to be honest. I did not notice like the CGI being bad. I think it might have just been the fact that I was just too excited by
I think for
the fact
me,
that we were finally getting the finale. I just wasn't there. Like there was only one point where like the motion looked unnatural to me, and that was whenever she like ran up behind Agatha and did the little wiggly woos.
Oh, I love that.
It's always
that was what she did in Ultron.
It's always looked like that. Yeah, she always did the like weird like like speed walk that was super weird looking, and then do the wiggly woos into her head, and that's the way it looked in Ultron. So I was like, I love that. I love that touch.
I'll say this,
and besides that, I thought everything else looked good.
I think it's hard to pinpoint. Like it's one of those things where something seems just quite off. Just
I get what.
I have something that I felt looked off the whole time.
Okay,
and it was the sky. The sky didn't look natural. Like. What they were going for, I feel like. Have you guys seen Stranger Things all the way through, like up to season 3?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that episode where 11 goes into like Billy's memories, and she's going through that red storm? I think that was kind of what they were going for in the sky, but it just didn't come through that well for me.
Well, and to go off your sky stuff, I felt like the scenes that kind of almost jumped out as like sort of strange or just different from what we've seen with Vision in the past was the Vision like flying in the sky. Like I felt like we've seen Vision fly around before, and I felt like it's never quite looked like that. And I couldn't pinpoint if it wasn't necessarily even bad. It's just like it's not like the continuity of like what it's looked like in the past wasn't quite the same, I guess.
I get what you're saying.
And I'm probably going to feel like an idiot because like Matt Shackman probably has like 2 things in mind that weren't those things at all. But like, and I'm just sitting here like thinking anything and everything may look weird if I look hard enough. But like,
I think I kind of remember what you were talking about, Colton, like with the sky. But I think honestly, every single time I noticed it, I just chalked it up to, they're inside the hex. The sky looks weird.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that for sure. The only other thing I can think of is the CGI when they made Wanda look old.
That didn't look
wasn't
great.
the cleanest. I mean, it did the job. I understood what was coming across and stuff, but like, it's going to be hard to make Elizabeth Olsen look like she's withering
not
up and
hot.
dying.
Yeah, it's hard to make her not hot.
Yeah, really hard.
Can we talk about the freaking Wicked Witch of the Wizard of Oz reference?
That was awesome.
I loved it. I loved that so much. The little boots sticking out from under the car.
Like, do you think like Agatha was just like, let me drop like a sitcom movie little reference for Wanda? Like, is that why she did it? Like, why else would she do that?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was just to fuck with her and just push that whole little thing forward. But so
You're a
can you guys
witch,
hear me?
Wanda. Yeah.
Okay, cool. My volume meter isn't going up at all, so I was just checking. I want to talk about something in that Vision versus Vision fight real quick. White Vision reaching for the Infinity Stone, trying to pull it out, and Vision phasing through it.
I have the perfect analogy for this.
Why didn't you do that the first time?
I have the perfect analogy for this. It's a perfect analogy. In Star Wars, whenever purple hair girl, at the time, I don't know, I forget her name, General whatever, Haldo, she turns around and goes light speed through a dreadnought, and why would they have never, ever done that before? That's the easiest way to take out a military. You don't even have to pilot the freaking thing. You just set it to course, and then boom, Empire dead. It's like the same thing. Yeah, it was an epic scene, and it's a cool move that Vision can do now, but like, just doesn't make any sense because that's what they do the whole time.
You could make the argument that both he might not have done that before. No, just wait. He might not have done that before because one, this was after the Mind Stone was like 75%, like almost completely removed.
No, bro.
By
Thanos turned
what's
that
her
time,
name,
bro?
No, I'm talking about by Black Panther's sister,
Shuri.
Because remember, she tried to remove it
Safely.
so he could live without it.
Yeah, but that didn't damage the
And
stone
also,
itself.
no, not damaging the stone, but it might have prevented his use of the powers. Also, we saw multiple times in that movie him get stabbed by that one fancy,
That's
spear thing that prevented him from phasing.
Nah.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Also, Joseph, even if he does phase through, it's not like it's going to keep, Thanos from getting the stone. Eventually, he'll get it regardless of how much phasing he does. Because I don't think
he just gave up.
Forever.
So he just gave up.
Well, yeah. I mean, clearly, look at
You don't think that dude could just go into phase mode and be like, "You can't touch me"?
I imagine there has to be some limit on it.
I don't know. He has an infinity stone in his head. The word infinity is right there. I think he could literally just. He doesn't need sleep. He doesn't lose energy. He's running off an infinity stone, dude. It's infinite power.
No, Joseph, that's the Power Stone. This is the Mind Stone. It's infinite mind.
No. Vision can basically type / game mode creative in Minecraft, bro. Vision can do that. He can just creative mode, freaking God mode.
I mean, it's pretty clear that's Wanda now.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to talk
Or
about
she's
White
the
Vision
devil
showing up at Wanda the first time, where he shows up and he does the same fucking
That was so
Wanda. Like as he did when he first showed up in the Hex, grabs her face and then tries to go the mountain on Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, tries to. Yeah,
Yo.
that
Dude,
was.
can we talk about how strong Elizabeth Olsen's skull
No,
has
man,
to
that
be
meant
for
that
that?
she was done. She should have been done.
Dude, that should have been it.
Listen, it takes a second to crush someone's skull.
No, bro. I feel like any level. I feel like any level of cracking is GG's. As soon as you hear the first crack, that should be.
No,
GG's.
we were hearing.
She's a witch. She was, pushing chaos magic to like expand her skull.
My man's was going the juicer from Zack and Cody on her ass, bro. She was done for. That's a old reference. Pop, that cue the noise. Y'all better know that shit.
That I'm not gonna lie, I laughed whenever that scene started. Because as soon as he goes, Wanda, and like starts caressing her head, I was like, oh, he's doing something.
Maybe that was
he's
just for a
doing
kink in
something,
the
and
bedroom,
then he reaches with the other hand, and I see him like start to grab her head. I was like, oh, she's done. She's fucked.
Maybe that's just their kink, man. They just have that kink in the bedroom.
Okay,
That's
Joseph, how horny are you, man? How horny
You never
are
know,
you,
bro.
Joseph, this is
You
like
never know.
the third sex comment you've made.
Hey, they made a boner joke. I think I'm able to make a sex joke if that's cool.
Well,
Freaking
boner. So, a few episodes back, one of us, I think it was Kyler, who mentioned the theory about the beaded necklace around Ralph's neck is what was controlling his power, and it was. That's true. That was.
Well, I think I think I said the like pendant on Agatha because it had been on her in some way, shape, or form, and I don't think it ended up being necessarily the source of her power because obviously that never got like pulled off when we saw anything. Yeah. But it's nice to know that I was close, just wrong person.
I am.
I honestly had not.
Though. Like, what was that pendant?
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It could just be just something she keeps on her, just like
maybe something to remember the mom that she
murdered.
A nice little memento.
Yeah. Maybe it gives her the ability to suck in power.
That can't be a fond memory. It's not like she looks at that and was like, oh mother, how much I miss thee. Like,
Mom,
no,
thank you for your life.
Fuck, man.
Dude, that's a strong ass skull. Let me just say, a strong ass skull.
Thinking more about Agatha, loved Agatha's ending where she said like, you've started something that you can't stop. You won't know what to do whenever, with the challenges you'll face or whatever, or whether it was that, or she said like when he comes or something like that. And then she was like, that's okay. Whenever that happens, I know where to find you. I
like that because they're going to stick with the Agatha being the mentor thing that way. And
then she's like, and you know what? You'll get the role you've always wanted, the nosy neighbor. And she pretty much is just like, you bitch.
Yeah.
And then she goes into the, well, hey, neighbor.
Well, how you doing, neighbor?
Dude, I'm telling you, Elizabeth Olsen is hot to everyone. Agatha can't keep her eyes off that.
I mean, that Scarlet Witch outfit, when she brought that shit forth from, she created that shit on her body when it happened. When she brought forth the Scarlet Witch, it's a great outfit. It's a great superhero outfit.
I appreciate the outfit.
I was wondering how they were going to do the crown. Like that Scarlet Witch thing, because I was like, I feel like what they do with the Halloween costume is like a bit too tall and like comic booky. And this felt like it was very suitable. It reminded me of like just like a small like tiara type shit. And I liked it.
Yeah, it would make a lot more sense for it to be an energy crown as well and not like a legitimate physical thing she puts on her head.
It is now.
It's like, yeah.
Initially, I liked that too. I liked that. I know what you're talking about. I liked that.
Yeah.
I love you, Joe. Yeah.
I feel like we should talk about the fight scene between Wanda and Agatha. So I don't think we've talked about that yet.
Yeah, but like it's not. I feel like the biggest takeaway there was just that Agatha could absorb that energy, right? She was trying to do that, and Wanda was like, "Fine, take it, yeet, psych. I haven't drawn runes."
Yeah, I 100% while I was watching that episode, I turned to my roommate and I was like, God, she's pretty shit at leading her shot.
I like that.
Like she does not have good aim.
Fight too. Wanda misses like 3 times, and Catherine Hahn looks at her like, "What the fuck is wrong with this woman?"
I literally like
powerful thing in the whole
30 seconds before the end of the fight, I turned to the people I was watching. I was like, she's not very good at aiming. And then the fight ends, and then she's like
playing dead.
Only the witch who draws the runes can cast her spells inside.
Thanks for the lesson.
And I was like, God damn, she really just made me look like an asshole.
Dude, but why did they fight the whole time? Why didn't Wanda just bond like Agatha's hands and legs together like Agatha did in her basement? Like because it could have been very easy.
She was throwing up the. She was
okay.
Oh,
okay.
You mean
then she puts up the runes first, and then freaking, handcuffs her basically magically.
Because that's not nearly as fun, Joseph.
Yeah, but that's the obvious thing to do.
No, you need to make her think that she got the magic, only to take it away from her.
Wanda did not know she would come back.
Wanda created a television sitcom out of her trauma. Don't tell me she ain't about showmanship, bro. She's gonna fuck with you any way she can.
She did not know that she would come back to life. She did not know that.
She did.
Nope.
Come on.
She did not know that.
Didn't?
No, because I'm convinced she wasn't, like, once she drew the runes, she probably wasn't even giving her magic anymore, because Agatha probably couldn't absorb it.
Let me explain.
Okay.
The Wanda that didn't know that she died was the Wanda that we know and love. But the Wanda that came back is the other Wanda.
So then, okay, I'm with it. But then how's there still two Wandas at the cabin in the woods?
Guess what? The Wanda that we love, she's missing every shot. And she looked at her like, what the F? But then Scarlet Witch Wanda comes back and owns her immediately. Absolutely owns her. There's two Wandas. There are two of them. And one of them's going to come out and be the big bad of Phase 5. She is the big bad, bro.
I did love that Wanda fought this whole battle up until the end in a sweat jacket and a sweatsuit, just like sweatpants. Bro. Got the jacket on. It's a spiffy look.
You gotta think though. She was having a hella depressing day before all this happened.
She really was. It only got more depressing.
She was having the worst day ever, bro.
Not only was her day depressing, then she had to end it on losing Vision.
Talk about who?
Well, not just Vision. She didn't just lose Vision. She lost her children.
No, not Vision.
And boy, oh boy.
No, she's not Vision. She lost Vision. Oh, it was devastating.
Bro.
Thank you for choosing me to be your mom. Oh.
Bro.
Come on, man.
I'm surprised, Joe. I'm surprised you didn't latch onto that line and be like Billy and Tommy are some greater multiversal beings that literally got to choose who brought them into this earth.
I was kind of confused at the line at first. I was very confused.
I think it was just a sweet thing to say from a mother to child.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm agreeing at now.
Perfect. I'm glad.
I don't take everything and go crazy with it.
That's just not true.
Okay. Not true. All right. Yeah.
I like that we got the explanation for what this vision was, the part of the Mind Stone that lives within Wanda.
I did like that.
Gave him a massive schlong.
All right.
During creation.
We're on to 4.
That has to be edited.
It is
not edited. I watched it back. Nope. I watched it back.
I did too. It's edited.
Damn it. I hope none of you would watch it back because it was obviously not there at all. Yeah, but hey, here's the thinking. Maybe Vision is packing.
Maybe
Vision got the dong.
He can morph into anything, right?
Much to think about.
He can morph
much to
morph into a dick, his entire being.
Last little great thing about the episode for me was Darcy fucking up Hayward to end his storyline. Because I thought that was just
funny. Talk about how hot Darcy is, too. She doesn't get the respect she deserves.
That car into him and is like, haha, have fun in jail, prick. And I loved it.
Bro, it's... Oh, I thought... No, never mind. Can we talk about how many cars were slammed into things in this fucking episode? Fucking Wanda throws that Buick like it's a fucking... She don't give a fuck about that Buick.
Fuck a Buick. She threw the shit and they were like, wait, don't throw the Buick. And Wanda was like, wait. That was a Buick?
Do you think Buick got mad that Wanda absolutely trashed that car?
That's like, not a Buick.
Do you think the actual Buick brand got mad?
No.
I doubt it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Our car is so bad that you just throw it into your own house? Like, damn. You know?
We also haven't talked about the scene where Agatha gives all the town people she cuts all the strings from them, and so Dottie walks up. She's like Dottie's the first one, and she's like, my daughter, she can be friends with your sons, or if you don't like that storyline, she can be like the school bully.
I like that. I like that.
Anything so I can see her.
Earlier too, that adds to when the chick goes, "That's not how mirrors work," and she goes, "No, shut up." No, don't say anything about how there's holes in her story. Just go with it. That gives credence to stuff earlier, just in that moment, because she was aware of the story and was kind of okay, And I like that.
And then
it's interesting how that was deteriorating in their minds.
And I loved that. It kind of almost parallels all these people have said the voices, like, oh, all the voices in my head and da-da-da-da when they're under Wanda's power and stuff, you know, these voices are now in her head and they're right there. Like, this is real now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of like that parallel that Wanda, in a sense, in this moment, gets a taste of her own medicine, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They all
Like,
speak
that's
to her what was in
definitely
their
a-
head.
when we sleep, when we sleep, we see your nightmares.
It's the two Wandas.
And this was a good example. And this is
One
something
of
that
them-
grants Joseph's theory a little credence. And I don't know if I agree exactly with what Joe's saying, but I think we could be dealing with like a Dark Phoenix type situation.
The Wanda we know and love, the Wanda that we know and love would not do that to people. She would not do that.
It's quite clear that it
But the
wasn't
Scarlet
on
Witch-
purpose, though.
Exactly. And it's the other Wanda taking over.
And also, even if it was on purpose, I don't think she realized what she was doing. It's like, she clearly didn't realize that her
because
powers
it's the
were...
other version of her.
No, what I'm saying is she clearly didn't realize that her powers were doing, like, causing them to see her nightmares, and, like, her thoughts were bleeding into theirs.
So what you're saying is we're dealing with a Wanda who, at any given moment, is dealing with a split here, like going back and forth between Wanda and the Scarlet Witch, and they make no concerted effort to tell us that.
No.
I love how he acts like we're ridiculous.
Yeah, we're ridiculous for what we're saying.
No, you fucking peasants. Don't ever.
No.
Don't
It
ever.
is
Don't approach me.
the inner actual Scarlet Witch that flew into Wanda. I'm going to call it the bad version of her.
Gotcha.
She is perceived. There's a prophecy all about her destroying the world. She's like this evil being, like the end of the world. And the Wanda we know is obviously the opposite. She wants to save everybody. And that Wanda we know would not do this. She did it on accident. They said it. She did all of this on accident, but maybe the inner Wanda did it on purpose.
Maybe.
Because she knew that that's what the host body would want.
True.
I don't know. I think that's why the accent comes back. I think that's the actual Scarlet Witch version of her whenever she goes out of the Hex, talks to Hayward. I think that's whenever she gets serious, the accent comes back and she's Scarlet Witch.
I get you. All right. You know, I'm gonna let you have this. I'm gonna let you have this because, frankly, I don't think I could say anything that would change your mind. Because all we've done is spit logic and facts in your face, and it hasn't worked in the slightest. So
I don't like spitting logic. I spit theory. I'm a theory guy. I'm a theory kind of guy. I'm always 12 steps ahead.
You're studying the tip of Theseus. Meanwhile, all of us are
of
just
course, bro. Why are we fighting?
all of us are just replacing the planks. You know.
Why are we fighting? We bring the fight to others. The fact that we are fighting makes others fight.
True.
We must stop.
True. So, I don't have many other thoughts on this episode. What do you think this means for the MCU going forward? Like, we're looking at Doctor Strange 2. What are you guys anticipating? I'm going to start with Kyler.
Man, it's so hard to forecast this because, like, this is such an open book now. Like, the Multiverse of Madness now has so much, like, especially since we've already had confirmed that Wanda is going to be a huge part of this movie. Like, that has been confirmed. Like, this has been said. So, like, hearing that, it's like, man, like, knowing she's a Doctor Strange, like, stronger than Doctor Strange, that's not a reach, right? Like that.
No, they said it in the episode, basically.
I mean,
you're stronger than the
fact
Sorcerer
that she
Supreme.
can honestly do things. Yeah, I guess that's true. I forgot that. The fact that she's out here doing Doctor Strange type things and also, like, having all of the other powers we've seen her exhibit, it's like, holy shit, like, this is going to be, like, assuming she isn't a big bad. Looking at you, Joseph.
I don't know, man.
This is shaping up to be, and knowing it's going to have horror, like a horror tone to a degree, like it's going to sort of have those tones because we know Sam Raimi and we know that this movie's supposed to be a little darker. I'm really fucking excited.
I am too.
Like, I don't know how to theorize. Like, this is like, I don't know. There's like, this is such an open book. Like,
It's
I don't
so
know.
easy to theorize. The
Shut
theory
up,
is
Joseph.
easy.
If I wanted to spout,
for last on this theorizing for Doctor Strange, too. Okay.
But like, I'll say this: I
Good.
think it's shaping up to be a really interesting dynamic between these two because, like, Doctor Strange doesn't shape well as like a buddy cop guy. Like, this can't be just a buddy cop dynamic because, like, Wanda doesn't really profile with these powers like that, and Doctor Strange he's a little full of himself. Like, he is a mystic Tony Stark in a sense. So, like, knowing that this woman is now more powerful than him and, like, Wanda's really like that, like, how is this dynamic going to shape up? Like, I'm curious to see that. Like, that's something that I think is going to be really interesting.
I'm thinking we get an interaction early on in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, or like a post-credit scene and something leading up to Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange and Wanda in a sort of in the sort of similar way that Doctor Strange discussed with Thor in Ragnarok, you know?
Okay, and here's another thing. I don't know how much Doctor Strange is going to take to Wanda because think about how she's studying the Darkhold. I don't think he's going to like that.
I don't either.
No.
I'm curious to see how
that's how it breaks open right there.
I'm curious to, like I said, I think the biggest thing I'm looking forward to in Multiverse of Madness, barring all of the hopefully like big time ramifications we're going to get, is just the dynamic between those two. Like, what is this movie? Because like, if they're going to interact like side by side for this whole movie, what is that dynamic going to be like? I just don't see him taking well to that at first.
He's not going to be very happy.
It can only go one of two ways. Only one of two. And I'm not going to get into my whole spiel yet because this is just a small part. It can either go really good and Doctor Strange is on Wanda's side, or Doctor Strange is against Wanda. Obviously that's all that can happen because there's no in between.
I'm thinking that we're going to deal with something that's more of a Luke Skywalker and TLJ, The Last Jedi, sort of vibe with Wanda from here on in. It's like she's going to concern herself with what she wants to do, and if other people want to come bother her, then they're going to have to fucking deal with like, yo, I don't want to fuck with you. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Well, like, and she knows too. Like, that's, I think, the biggest change from Luke Skywalker that I loved in the sequel movies is like, God, he was very like confident. Like, he knew he was that dude. Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah, I don't fucking get like, what? Like, it was very, like, literally, it was literally very brush the shoulders off. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like that. I feel like Wanda has just now, like, especially after she's done this much, doing the studying and like understanding the Darkhold and her true scope of her powers. Wanda is going to be very interesting to track because, like, she's going to be in this for the long haul, especially like knowing she's in Multiverse of Madness. Like, I'm very interested to see this like new version of her in a sense.
Can I just say, honestly, you know what? I was cool with, obviously take this as a joke. I was cool with COVID before all this, but now that I know that Multiverse of Madness would be coming out next week if COVID wasn't, just being an absolute ass. It's the only reason I'm mad at COVID now. It's because it's pushing off Multiverse of Madness by a year.
The fact that WandaVision was supposed to release literally like the last episode was supposed to be like a week or 2 weeks before Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness release is ridiculous.
Yeah. And now we have to wait a year for Multiverse of Madness, and that's
think about it. We would have already had Black Widow, right? Like definitely,
yes.
Right? That was supposed to be this winter. That was supposed to be this winter.
I think that is.
Yeah.
I think that is the number one reason why COVID sucks.
Yeah.
Number
one reason.
Like two is just the number of stupid people that have been birthed out of this era.
When Endgame ended and I realized the timeline, like when we were getting releases, I was like, oh my God, we're going to have to go so long without movies. I was so panicked. And now that we're here, I've went longer than I've ever had to for a Marvel movie. And it honestly just dawned on me. And now, like you said, Miles, I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I'm irate.
I was cool with COVID before. But now, fuck COVID.
Yeah, man. I mean, I unlocked a lot of self-growth. I picked up a lot of new hobbies, man. Like, COVID was kinder to me than most. Like,
COVID made it way easier to pass classes.
Never got COVID. No family members got COVID. I don't have any relatives that died or anything. And it reconnected me with my passions for, like, Star Wars and Marvel and all this stuff. Like,
bingo. Yeah, I am totally, I agree. Like, I have been very, very fortunate. Like, COVID has been kind to me in mine. I can't complain, but like, the fact that the only thing I have to complain about Marvel movies probably pretty good, but fuck this. I want my Marvel movies. Let's bring them.
No, this is the end of the world.
Boys, if I turn into a zombie and try to eat you, Cat me in the head. Don't even think about it, all right? Cat me.
I'm glad you gave me your permission. I wouldn't have cared if you gave it to me.
Good. Just cat me. You can take all
It
my
was
stuff.
happening zombie.
You guys.
So
Does it go to whoever gets the kill shot?
You can split it amongst yourselves.
Wait, what are we splitting? Can we split the drone of it all?
All of my possessions you can have.
all right.
That's my will. This is my zombie will.
Your will and testament.
Well, guys,
All
I
right,
don't have
sweet.
anything else to say. I'm out.
Other than Wanda's the big bad of Phase 5.
All right.
Didn't even let me get into it.
Oh yeah, Joe, go.
I will cut it down. I will cut it down significantly. Do you think Doctor Strange is very fond of what Wanda is doing? I think he's very against it, and just because it's someone that he knows, he's not going to show remorse. Many times in the past, he did not choose friends over protecting his stuff. He says it to people. Tony,
Okay.
if
That
it
makes
comes
a little bit more
between
sense.
me and the time, or you and the time stone, I'm choosing the time stone. He
Okay,
told it to his face.
That makes a little bit more sense. I thought you were saying specifically
Yeah, no.
because he knew
Yeah.
her, he was
I
going
was
to be
like-
even meaner in what he did. And
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
That's what
That
I
doesn't
was.
He's not going to treat her any differently.
okay, that
Other
makes a
than
little okay.
An
Yes.
enemy of his, or whatever you want to call it.
He's going to see her as a threat to Earth.
Yes.
See, here's what I
And-
want to know. I want to know where is it Mordo? Isn't that his name?
Yes.
Where does he play into this?
Mm.
Because I feel like that post credit scene gets very, very forgotten.
I gotta think
But it's
that
like
he's gonna be
a tertiary bad, like kind of like
Or
a,
maybe it's like a
I'm thinking he's the
he
bridge to the
manipulates
actual
Wanda's.
bad. Like
Yeah,
we're gonna
like
have
he's
a
the actual
Wanda
bad.
versus Doctor Strange kind of narrative for a good half the movie. They come together when they realize Mordo has been doing some shit with this big bad, and then it's
Okay. That's what
Or
I
may-
thought you were meaning that Mordo was it, and I was like, I don't know if he can carry
No,
that,
he
like
couldn't.
especially
He
for
couldn't.
what we think. Yeah. Okay.
Who,
Okay.
at
Yeah.
this point in time, let's make our predictions. Who is the big bad, the biggest bad of Phase 5 up until the next
Dude,
Endgame?
it's gotta be. It's like you're talking like Thanos level.
Thanos level. Who's
I mean,
the next
to
Thanos?
me, it's right there. It's gotta be It's gotta be like a Galactus. Something along those lines. It has to be, right? I mean,
I
What
was
if
going to
it's
say,
Magneto?
I think it might be the fucking like Chthon or however you say his name, the like chaos god that like
Yeah, the
in the
guy who
comics was
created
the
the
one that
Darkhold.
wrote the Darkhold. Yeah, because I think they're leaning they leaned really heavy into the Darkhold,
That's true.
and I think her
Okay.
reading it, I think that could potentially be the big bad
Awaken,
for
like-
Multiverse of Madness is she accidentally
Oh.
awakens or like
Okay.
releases
Could-
Chthon, and
could
also
still be Mephisto.
or Mephisto, the like mountain or whatever that she went to. I guess they've already said was like the mountain from the comics where she
Wundagore?
was born. Huh?
Wundagore.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where she was like born, and that's where she in the comics was exposed to Chthon's like dying magic,
I read this.
and what gave her the chaos powers.
I read that.
And so I think the fact that
Avengers. It was
I think the fact that they've released that was that mountain. I think they're leaning into a potential Chthon being.
Well, there's also
big
the
bad.
fact that it was here. She learned from a cow being named Bovine, which we saw a hint at in the second episode's fucking theme song. You remember the cartoon in the grocery store that had like Auntie A's kitty litter, and the other thing was like Bovine's milk. Like that character Bovine in the comics is who tells Wanda her dad is Magneto, and she tells her this at that mountain in Wundagore. So like that.
I think the big bad is Magneto because of the fact of how instantly he could destroy the Avengers.
well, we're
Literally,
not already.
Tony Stark in his suit is dead. He's a foil
Good thing
ball,
Well, he's already dead.
crushed. Captain America is gonna pick up the vibranium shield and then slice
Also,
his head off with it.
Already dead.
Thor, bro. Okay. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
But here's the
Magneto
thing.
picks up a piece of metal and beep through your head.
I
dude.
feel
You
like
can't establish him as the big bad when we don't have any X-Men stuff yet.
Yeah,
You
I
can't do
don't
that.
think Magneto could be the big
In the-
bad
in-
because
And the only reason I say that it could be like I could see, and mind you, I still think they're probably like I could see them pushing back a Galactus or something along those lines, another phase.
Well,
But I just say that because Fantastic Four is in the cards, so like we're gonna be building there at least.
Guys, we got to think. It took 3 phases to get to Thanos.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why I was. I don't think a Khan would be a Thanos level big bad, but I think he could definitely be a Phase 1 big bad.
Okay.
Or sorry, a Phase 5 to maybe even in
the first phase of this. Yeah.
Wait, are we? What phase are we in?
4.
We're in phase. Okay, so and Phase 4 lasts until like all these current movies, right?
Yes,
we're still in Phase 4.
Phase 3 ended with Endgame.
Okay,
yeah, because that's called the Infinity Saga.
Yes,
WandaVision.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I think he could be a Phase 4, potentially even into Phase 5 big bad, but I think it would be leading into a bigger big bad.
Yeah, okay, but maybe we can like take some advice from Fortnite. Like Galactus was in a Fortnite thing. Like, why would they just be bringing Galactic back in Fortnite if they weren't maybe going to bring him back in the future?
I'm not going to buy any stock in any Fortnite related theory. Are you implying that Travis Scott is going to show up in?
No.
But you understand the slippery slope that you are on, Joseph.
Dude. Understand why didn't they put Wanda and Vision in there? Because that's what you do when you put someone in a game. You advertise for what's coming out. They put Galactus in there.
Oh my!
Like the Mandalorian was in there to promote the Mandalorian, not just in there. You know,
but like also they didn't event though with like Psylocke, like
they did. They promoted in Endgame. They had Thanos in there, Iron Man, all the Avengers. And then they put Galactus.
Yeah, but it's also
the spectacle
Fortnite.
Of the character itself.
Yeah, it's Fortnite, so they're probably like, "Hey, what's a cool character we can put in Fortnite that'll do cool things?" And they're like, "I don't fucking know, Galactus."
Well, see, here's the thing: is that like when we get into like Galactus territory, we got to wait for the Fantastic Four. Like, Fantastic Four is what's going to bring us Silver Surfer, Doctor Doom, Galactus.
And those are too far off for that to be the big bad.
Well,
this is going to be the deepest I've ever gone. It's going to be the deepest I've ever gone, and I hope you're ready. Fortnite is canon in the MCU. No, hold on. It is canon in the MCU. Thor was playing it. And
okay.
Or for whatever, it's canon.
The existence of Fortnite is canon.
Yeah,
what happens in Fortnite?
Those updates are canon. They know of Galactus in this universe.
I don't know.
So Galactus is.
Hold on, let him go.
Dude, the people in the MCU know about Galactus. How would they know about Galactus if he's an MCU villain and he hasn't been introduced to the MCU
what if
yet?
That's how they introduce Galactus, like how they realize Galactus is the big
It's coming into the real world. They're breaking the fifth.
They're gonna open.
My God,
Multiverse of Madness is gonna open. Okay, opening scene. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness shows up on the screen. It pans in. Doctor Strange chilling at a desk. Playing Fortnite, sees Galactus, and his eyes go wide, and he goes, "That's the big bad."
It's gonna be Thor and Korg just going to town on some fucking.
It's gonna be Thor, Korg, Doctor Strange, and Wanda playing Fortnite.
Guy looks awfully. He looks a little weird, doesn't he?
Dude,
he looks a little bad.
But you can't deny that Fortnite is indeed canon.
It is
in the MCU.
I mean, yes, but
you can't deny it. It's canon. And
okay, You could have gone a lot weirder with that, and I thought you were going to continue getting weirder.
Honestly, not the deepest I've gone. It's not the deepest I've gone. It's the cringiest I've gone. I think just wrong word choice.
Well, guys, last thing I want to talk about is readiness for the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We prepared?
Yes. Dude.
I'm irrelevant.
Oh. Can we get some F's in the chat for our boy KB?
Nah, man, no, this ain't a sad thing, boys. I'm glad to pass the torch to someone who's prepared and excited to talk about it.
You're like Vision disappearing, bro. You're like
Tillman's gonna kill it. Tillman's gonna kill it. I'm gonna be back. It's okay. This ain't no sad thing, baby.
No, he's got to get caught up on that Clone Wars too in time for Bad Batch.
Yeah,
I do. I got work cut out for me. I got my. It's okay.
Is Wanda going to be in Falcon and Winter Soldier?
No.
Nah, I don't think so.
Well,
How
I
do you
can't-
know that?
here's my thing.
When is it taking place? Do we know when it's taking place?
I think around, like concurrently with.
Yeah, I would say the best shot we have would be at potentially like the end of season credit. We see like some where's Wanda.
That's what I mean. Not in the show episode, but in a post-credits.
I could see a slim chance of us getting like a post-credit scene at some point.
Where at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, they're like,
But here's the thing,
we have
I
to
don't
go help
think-
Wanda or something.
Well,
Like that.
I don't think there's a good
Falcon
chance
and
of
Winter
it.
Soldier. I don't think those stories coincide at all. Like Wanda's path right now and her arc doesn't. I don't see how that involves.
But it involves Nick Fury. And Nick Fury is involved in Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Well,
Or I think
not
actually I take it back.
necessarily.
I don't think we get a credit scene. I think the best shot we have at getting anything Wanda related is something mentioned in like passing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
like-
mean between like agents.
Nick
or something
Fury
like
will
that.
come to those people or Skrulls.
We
be like,
we have
hey.
Nick Fury is never setting foot on Earth again. Like
No,
You don't
no,
think so?
that man's staying up there forever. He's never coming back.
No, I would agree with that because I saw somewhere they've pretty much already established they really want to for the next like phases of Marvel movies. They're planning on like some of them being focused on Earth and only Earth, and some of them being focused on like the wider universe / multiverse. And so I think anything that Nick Fury takes part in is not going to be a movie focused on Earth. It's going to be focused on
Yeah.
the
Why would
wider
you leave?
consequences.
Why would you leave that place? You have everything on Earth, but
I just
times
think
5
Fury
billion.
knows. I just think Fury knows that this work and what he's doing is so vitally and vastly more important for the general scope of like the universe. I think he's thinking so much bigger now because he has to.
Yeah.
Like the scrolls have
He's-
drastically
Big
changed
brain.
that.
Yeah, he's no longer worried about solely Earth level
Hey.
threats. He's worried about God.
I'm thinking
universal.
Basically playing God.
I'm thinking,
And-
given what Miles was talking about, the expansion into the universe at large instead of just Earth, we've started kind of getting into that with Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you think there's a chance we get Photon joining that group as a Guardian eventually?
Maybe, but I don't think so.
Definitely
think
not
we have
super
Thor.
soon. Definitely not super
Yeah,
soon.
I don't-
just because I think Thor is going to art.
Yeah.
Like you can't add it. I don't see you adding another one into the mix.
Yeah. Also, like the vibes of the characters, I just don't see Monica
Fitting in.
fitting in that well.
I agree.
I could see Photon becoming Nick Fury, like Nick Fury sends her on like universe level assignments.
Yes, I could see that.
Damn, man. Damn.
It's a lot out there. It's a big universe. But since we were talking about the Falcon and Winter Soldier when this branch started, my idea, see, it's kind of sad that they came out just dick swinging with WandaVision, because I'm going to tell you what, ain't no way for my money they touching this with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like,
It just the stakes aren't high enough.
The stakes, and I just think like, God, like this story was so much more interesting given the like what's happened.
Yeah, I was much more connected.
And I
to
think,
Wanda's-
knowing that Steve Rogers is coming back and going to be some sort of role into Phase 4 definitely takes away from the stakes that you talked about. Miles.
He's coming back.
Yeah,
that's like officially
I
confirmed.
I did
As
not see
old
that.
man boy, as
I
old
believe
man.
so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
As
yeah,
old
it would be
man.
as old man.
Because
Cap.
I'm pretty sure
I
he's
think
showing up
he's
in
just
the
gonna
show
be-
at least. I don't know how much beyond that.
I
Yeah,
think
I
he's
thought-
just going
I
to
thought
be like
he
a Professor X type, like ambassador.
Yeah,
of
I
sorts.
figured he would be here for this show and then probably nothing after, because I think Chris Evans kind of wants to be done. Kind of like
Do you think we get a sword retirement home where all the heroes just go to die like whenever they're old?
That'd be pretty kick-ass.
Like they have their own.
Yeah, I
retirement.
mean it's pretty like he was in talks with Marvel. Like this is confirmed. Like
okay.
he's
not bad.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
dude, maybe the stakes of the show are insane.
Maybe they find a way to make.
Like
it.
Zemo,
You know what?
I think Zemo coming back is going to be very interesting because I think he's going to be much more like sinister about.
That's
like
my
I
favorite.
think
That's
he's
the most
gonna
exciting part of the show going into it for me is Zemo.
Also,
and like he was already a vengeance guy, but like now I think that vengeance, like this is going to be kind of interesting to see how it plays
so
out.
I mean, think about it for a second though. We're saying now the stakes of the show aren't high enough. Think about what we thought WandaVision was going to be about before now. We thought it was just going to be a sitcom, like it was Wanda in a sitcom for whatever reason. There were no stakes.
Yeah, true.
So who knows? Maybe they just find some way to set the stakes super high, and it ends up being just blowing us out of the water.
Planting the seeds right now. They're just planting seeds.
I think
I
this
will
is
say
what or is.
I will say the action sequences that I've seen in trailers look fantastic.
Yes, I think
think
the action in Falcon and the Winter Soldier will be better than the action in WandaVision because WandaVision wasn't built on action.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that this show is gonna bring the MCU like theatrical level of fight scene that we didn't exactly get in Episode 9, but we're gonna get that more regularly in this show. But I also think that the way they're going with the TV shows is they're looking for a more meaningful way to tell stories and just set up stuff later. Like they're looking
and I think
expand the stories of characters who haven't gotten their shine.
Yeah, and I think Bucky and Falcon are fantastic examples of characters that deserve that. And I think this has buddy cop kind of written all over it. Like that dynamic is going to be fantastic. Like it already has been. Like the Civil War scenes, like I hate you.
Couldn't have done that earlier. Like, I hate you.
Like it's just awesome.
Wait, what were we just talking about?
Falcon and Bucky and Sam.
Sorry. No, it was before that.
Wanda fight scenes?
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. This is my mega prediction for Marvel. Oh. No, but this isn't anything crazy.
Oh, okay.
I think Phase 4 is the planting seed stage. Phase 5 will be the growth of the story, up to rising to the climax, and then Phase 6 will be the blossom.
We're in phase 4 right now. Okay.
We're in Phase 4.
All right.
So 4 is planting the seeds, all the TV shows.
Okay,
Phase
gotcha.
5 is, the movies, they start to get more serious and it builds up. And then Phase 6 is like the blossom, the Thanos comes out, whatever the version
We're
is.
talking about Phase 6. Phase 6 isn't going to be until like 2028.
Yeah,
Dude, when did Iron Man 1 come out?
Like 2009.
Exactly. It's a long-ass time. It's not, you can't build a story like that.
Phase 6, we're talking Phase 6, like potential phase, big over Thanos level big bads.
We'll have
you want your mind to be fucking blown? I was just about to say that. I will probably be 30 fucking years old when this happens.
We'll have families. We'll have kids. We'll have our life.
Oh my god!
We'll be adult nerds.
I can't.
So we're still gonna be making this podcast at 30, right?
Oh yes.
Fucking
Come on.
So this has been
There's
the
no
Bloom
fucking
podcast. 'Twas I, Colton Robertson. This was the WandaVision Watch. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Thank you, Miles Buttress.
Hey, anytime, man.
Next week, even we're maybe a Falcon and Winter Soldier preview of sorts with Tillman.
Maybe 10 years from now.
And then Kyler. Unfortunately, it will not be next week even for you. I will see you in May.
Hey, I can't wait. Colton, I just want to take a moment to just thank you. You're a great host, man. You let us go off on our tangents. You always know when to wrap us up. Do your job well.
What's going to happen this Friday, boys?
Hey, if you don't fucking listen to this podcast, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Wrong.
This guy's got it. This guy's got it.
What's going to happen this Friday? What is going to happen?
We don't know. Again, this was the Penny Bloom podcast. 'Twas I, Colton Robertson. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves.
And Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo.